What is up, guys? Private Eye Russ here. Welcome to another episode of the Private Eye Russ Show. I am your host, owner, operator, full-service private investigation and consulting firm. Links will be in the description below if you need a private investigator, corporate theft investigations, criminal defense investigations, litigation support, all types. Link in the description below. Hit me up on the contact page or send me a direct message on X at Private Eye Russ. All right, let's get straight into this. Let's see this epic level of lack of accountability on display here. You guys are going to love this one. Fair use.
Percent of men are no longer, when they are victims of paternity fraud, 90% of men do not stay with the child. They do not stay with the child. Once they find out the child is not theirs, they move on, regardless of how old the child is. And OT, I find that to be quite disturbing. Because let's say the child is 10 years old. How can you erase 10 years of memory just because that child was not yours? Someone that was calling you father, somebody that you were changing their diapers, somebody that you were feeding. How can you automatically detach those emotional feelings? I feel like that's, I understand the pain, but that's almost kind of heartless. What do you think?
It's so crazy how the real heartless thing is what we're overlooking.
Thank you.
That you pinned another human's child on me. That is heartless. That is actually very disgusting behavior. But we're gonna overlook that and focus on.
No, we're not. We're not going to overlook that. That is disgusting behavior. Look, if you're in a committed relationship, if you're in a long-term relationship, or you're married, that's my dog in the background. You know how they do the whole dreaming thing. I'm sure he's dreaming about being hunted or hunting some brontosaurus or something like that from who knows back when, his ancestors. And you let some other dude go in there raw, and they're at all, but go in there raw and spill his seed inside you and impregnate you, and then allow the man you're with to raise that child under the false pretense of believing that it is his child. That is disgusting, heartless behavior. Not the fact that you find out that the child's not yours and you check out. That's not heartless. That's being cold and calculating, but that's not heartless.
The man that got spited, right? And his reaction to your actions. And it now becomes about his reaction, not about your actions of being a whore. It's not even about that. It's now about him reacting to the whore's ways.
You see the problem right there. You have automatically judged a woman that she was being a whore.
Yes, she was.
He got pregnant by another person and pinned it on me. That's whore behavior.
That is not whore behavior because you don't know the details. You don't know if she was essayed. You don't know if she was having a drunken night.
But that's the same side I did. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You know where she ended up on the bodega. You don't know anything that happened.
Okay.
You don't even know if maybe
I love this.
She used IVF and she thought it was yours, but it ended up being a doctor's. That maybe she doesn't know.
Okay.
These things happen, and we don't even give room for the woman to give you an explanation. Instead, all you're just like, oh, she's being a whore.
God. I'm losing brain cells. What's going on right now?
Thank you. You and me too, brother.
You tell me. How can you?
Okay, so again, shout out to them. Fair use. She is 100% wrong. That is 304 behavior. If you do that and you're guilty of that, the honorable thing to do would be to tell the guy what happened. Here's what happens instead. Most women do not tell the man what happens. There are like 20-something% of men are falsely are raising children that they falsely believe are theirs, and they are not. More than 20%. That's 1% is too much. 20%, more than 20%, that's awful. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples from my own life, friends that I know, people that I've known that were victims of paternity fraud. And that's what this is, paternity fraud. So paternity fraud is, someone telling you that a child is yours when it isn't, right? So, or when they should know that it probably isn't your child, right? So one buddy of mine I grew up with, he's got 3 children, and he paid child support for so many years for all the children. He wasn't married to the mother, and they wind up doing some DNA thing, one of those, 23andMe or whatever the case is. Probably one of those ones that got leaked, and everybody's DNA is all over the place. I'm not sure that leak was accidental, but whatever. That's a whole nother video. Don't get my conspiracy theory thing started, but anyway, so turn out, here's what happened. 2 of those 3 children were not his. And he actually wound up getting arrested for not paying child support at one point. And so 2 of those 3 children he paid for all these years. 2 out of the 3 were not his. Is he going to get that money back for paying child support for 18 years for each of those 2 children? No, he'll never see a dime of that money back. The state doesn't care. If you're a guy, the state doesn't care what happens to you. Another instance in Los Angeles, again, guy had 2 kids, successful guy. Wife decides to pull the ripcord, sending him hurtling earthward towards the finely polished floors of the family court, to where he goes splat. And so they've got him paying child support and alimony, so much so that he had to sleep in his office. He owned a limo company. He had to sleep in his office. Okay, so, and use his gym membership to shave and shower and all the rest of this stuff, literally homeless, right? So guy buckles down, grows his business, expands, finally gets to where he can move into another place. She takes him to court because she found out he was being more successful. The judge grants her more money, sending this guy back to homelessness. And again, so he's back to square one. This is how heartless the family courts are now. He was in California. That's one of the worst states in the country to be married in. And so, so his life got hurtled back into this stuff. But he kept his head up. He kept doing his thing, working hard, doing his thing. Well, he winds up finding out that the children he was paying child support none of them were his. Okay, either none of them or one of them. This is a long time ago, and he wound up after all that time. He wound up deleting himself. Do the people at the family court care? Nope. Will you hear some women's group talking about this guy and the tragedy of him deleting himself? Nope. They don't care. They're probably just wondering, okay, who's going to pay the bill now that this guy is gone? So paternity fraud should be punished. I made a video, an investigative report about a company called Make a Mom. Look in the videos below. I need to make some categories for videos. That's a good thing I need to do. I need to get my assistant on that. And there's a company called Make a Mom that creates a product that is designed to extract your DNA from a condom and use it, kind of like a turkey baster, and inject that DNA material into the woman in order for her to get pregnant. And on no country in this nation, or no state in this nation, and no country on this planet, it is not illegal for a woman to do that anywhere on the planet. Keep that in mind, guys. Protect your junk. Protect your DNA. Treat each and every one of those like it has your future attached to it, because it does. All right, it's your boy Private Eye Russ. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Oh, before you go, please, if you got any value out of this, the analysis, the stories, all the rest of the stuff I put into this, please click like, subscribe, share the videos, and comment. Join the Discord server. Links will be in the description below as well. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Private Eye Russ, I am out.